Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Hello and welcome into RedHawks Weekly on Valley News Now. I'm Adam Shalafu, and today I'm joined by the skipper, Chris Coste. Chris, thank you so much for joining me. Looks like a beautiful day out there. You in Sioux City?
Yeah, we're Sioux City. We just got done with Kansas City. We actually have an off day, and the guys get together and have just a little mini informal workout. So we're just kind of out here running around a little bit. And Summer, my dog, if you're a RedHawks fan, you know who Summer is. It's her second birthday today. She's 2 years old. So I have a 16-year-old daughter at home, and in dog years, I have a 14-year-old daughter as well.
That's awesome. And then I have done the math. Dog year's birthday, if you're looking to celebrate as a human, every 52 days in human years, that's one dog year, in case you were ever curious about that. Anyway, getting to the meat of the sandwich here. Fun little trip to Kansas City, and just a weird one at that. We were talking a little bit before we got started that due to a concert, a really pretty much literally unplayable outfield. And so what was that like, kind of that whole experience and the bobbing and weaving involved on your guys' end?
That was kind of an unfortunate situation. When we were on our way to Kansas City, we knew that was a possibility. We had heard there was a chance that their field would not be ready to play on. They had a concert. Most every minor league team does things like this. Even the big leagues, they'll rent out their field, they'll have a concert, and you can always tell it has an impact on the field. But unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened, but it really hurt their field. It just became, they tried to resod some areas, but it just became unplayable, unfortunately. And the league just deemed that it was, and they made the right call, because it would have been, not only would have been very dangerous for the players, especially the outfielders, it was also just the integrity of the game. It was just not something where the outfielders could run around even at 50% speed and try to make plays. It was, like I said, it was kind of an unfortunate situation, but it's kind of how it goes in the minor leagues, where they rent out the field, and it just, the field got a little bit more damaged, I think, than what they expected.
And it's kind of a unique situation. You guys were expected to have, obviously, a much longer series than you actually got to have against the defending champions. And that's a rivalry series, a series that always seems to be even more important than we may realize at this juncture in the season, kind of looking at that early June. But in the West Division, when we get closer to postseason play, that June series between the RedHawks and the Monarchs always seems to be really important. So you guys were able to just get one, technically still riding the win streak here.
Yeah, it was. It was unfortunate in a lot of regards. It's become such a great rivalry. Two of the better teams in the league year in and year out. And not only that, but it was just a Friday night fireworks game. I know they had a lot of tickets sold, and the game was supposed to start at 6:30 on Friday. I don't think they canceled until like 7 p.m. And it was the weather was decent, and it just was, like I said, it was unfortunate for the league and obviously for Kansas City, because once again they did a great job selling tickets. It was going to be a great environment. And then when that game was canceled, it was also postponed on Saturday. We played a doubleheader yesterday at the University of Kansas. Fortunately, it was a really nice facility. We were able to get both wins out of that doubleheader, which is tough in this league against anybody, but especially against the Monarchs to sweep a doubleheader. It kind of shows the resilience of our team, and where things are going pretty well for us right now. And whether it was at the University of Kansas or at Yankee Stadium, our guys always seem to play and prepare as if they're in the World Series. So definitely really proud of our guys for how we were able to respond and how well we played yesterday. We played really well in both sides of the ball.
And it looks like you guys definitely had a nice day on the mound from Tyler Grauer, allowing just 4 hits, keeping the ERA super low, getting the shutout nice day work in just 5 innings, and then Garrett Alexander picking up where he left off. How important is the bullpen for you so far in the year? It seems like it's been great by the whole committee.
Yeah, I think we knew coming into the season that the bullpen could be a strength, and that's always one of your concerns. It's how do you score runs, and then also how do you keep your opponent from scoring runs from the sixth inning on. We knew our starting rotation should be pretty decent, and the emergence of Jake Dykoff, he's done amazing things for us, and Dubord, our closer, and then Garrett Alexander. But yesterday, Tyler Grauer, Davis Feldman threw game one, and he was really good, but Tyler Grauer, his elbow has been kind of bothered in the last couple of weeks, and he's normally 89 to 91 miles an hour. I think he was 85 miles an hour yesterday, and he gutted it through. Somehow he threw 5 shutout against Kansas City. Kind of shows you the kind of warrior that he is when he gets on that mound, because he did not have his good stuff by any means, and he had to rely on just a lot of changeups against a really strong team and threw 5 shutouts. So Tyler Grauer yesterday, man, what he did was truly remarkable. And then, of course, Garrett Alexander. It was a nice contrast because Tyler Grauer's in there throwing about 85 miles an hour with a lot of changeups at about 70 miles an hour. Then Garrett Alexander comes in throwing 96, 97. We were set up pretty nicely at that point.
Yeah, and just some on paper great outings so far. You got Feldman 4 wins on the year, Grauer 3 wins on the year, and those are the top 2 marks so far in the league. And then Feldman with a 2.27 ERA, and I know that was really tough last year when you guys kind of lost him midway through the season, got called up into the Blue Jays organization. But what has that been like so far, just having one of the better guys in the whole league and just kind of being able to let him loose?
Around him a little bit more confident, a little bit better, because he is so good, he's so durable. And we have a lot of guys like that. So once again, even if he's not perfect on the mound, our hitters just feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident. And that's dangerous for our opponents because they know they have their hands full with Davis Feldman. He's as good as our league has had in a long time. But our hitters also gain a lot of confidence because they know that, we don't necessarily have to score 7, 8 runs a game. We just basically have to try to do some damage early, get a lead, and we're going to be in good shape. But now when he's out there, he's kind of, and we have a lot of guys like that on our staff actually in the bullpen as well. But there's just something about Davis Feldman when he has his start day, our whole team feels pretty good about our chances that day.
Going back to media day, I remember talking to you and some of the players about who's going to step up. You guys lost Leo Pena, you lost Manny Boscan. Well, one guy's who's stepping up in a huge way so far, leading the league in batting average, Ismael Alcantara. Just phenomenal out there and just a terror on the base path, too. Tell me about his contribution so far and how impressive it's been off the jump.
Yeah, he's been really good for us. And it's not a surprise. When he became available for us to sign, we knew that he was one of the priorities for us in the offseason because he's such a well-rounded player for our league. He can play all 3 outfield spots well above average, but he's got the perfect mix of speed and power. I mean, he's leading the league in stolen bases as well. He's got a good amount of doubles. His OPS is really high. But the other thing behind the scenes, and I was talking with a lot of our guys about him yesterday, he really pushes our team to be better because he plays like he's a 19-year-old who's on a tryout every day. He flies around the bases. He always hustles. And we have that kind of team this year. Even like a guy like Dylan Thomas, who's a major league veteran, shared an outfield with Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. Guys like that don't always come here and play hard, but Dylan Thomas plays his tail off in every single part of the game. So when you also add a guy like Alcantara into that mix, who's a very good player, but also somewhat demanding, or not demanding, but a lead by example kind of guy. There's not a team in the league that plays as hard as we do night in and night out. There's a lot of teams who play hard. Don't get me wrong. It's not a lazy league. These guys in this league are hungry, but there's not a team in our league who plays the game consistently as hard as we do. And that's one of the reasons why we win. We win because we're really good. But just the example that the guys around each other set, the expectations and the challenges they put on each other in a fun way. But it is a challenge. They want to keep up with each other, and there's nobody can dog it down the line because, and it's not even that they're going to hear it from their teammates. We don't have that kind of a team. but it's more so when you see a veteran guy like Dylan Thomas and Alcantara running out balls that they're probably going to be out on, it makes everyone else have to play that way as well.
You got a tough little stretch here. You know, Devin and I were talking about this is one of the sneaky toughest stretches maybe in the year, starting with that Kansas City trip, always difficult. And then you got Sioux City, winners of 3 straight. And we saw very recently how good they can be. Got one at Newman, and then you got that one followed up by Sioux Falls, who are currently tied for first place in the West with the Canaries. And so you got the 2 Sioux back-to-back. What is it going to take to have a successful road trip?
Well, every time you play in your division, you know you have a challenge on your hands. Everybody in our league has gotten so strong and so deep, but Sioux Falls, holy cow, starting from last year, they've vastly improved. They used to be, a middle to the bottom of the pack type team, and now they're really, really strong. They got a good coaching staff and amazing players from top to bottom, very similar to us, actually. And then Sioux City, they've jumped out to a little bit of a slow start, but now they're starting to pick it back up, which is not a surprise because they do have some really strong pitching. They always do. They have some hitters who got off to some slow starts. It was just a matter of time before they started to get better. And so Sioux City, in my opinion, should be one of the tougher teams, I think, this next month, as long as they don't deal with any injuries or things like that, because, their manager and their general manager, they do a really good job of if they need to make some changes, they do. And so you're right, this is certainly a challenge. But once again, every time you play in your division, in the other division, there's been a little bit more parity where maybe only one team has kind of jumped out. But in our division, Sioux Falls, Kansas City is always a perennial top of the league type team. Sioux City's going to be really good here down the stretch. Winnipeg is starting to play really, really strong, and they're a good team as well. So certainly no easy ones, but you're right. This road trip here, we always talk about when you have a road trip like what we have now, when it's over with, you do really find out a lot about your team. And it turns out we're finding some pretty positive things, but these next 6 games will also tell us a lot as well.
Oh, there you have it. And before I let you go, what are you and Summer doing for the big second birthday?
Well, right now if I can get her on there, she's running around looking. She was in the tarp looking for rabbits, and she chased a bird around the guys know that it's her second birthday thing related to salmon or things like that. So I'll probably get her like a little salmon dinner from Outback, that once a year thing. She, like I said, anything salmon related, she'll be good. But she's living her best life. She loves to be on the baseball field. She'll hunt down the bats, and I'll throw her the baseball, and she'll run around like crazy, and the guys will have some fun. And as you can see, they're playing hacky sack right now. That's part of our situation is we've been winning and doing well, so it's easy to have fun. But we have the type of guys who, wins and losses aside, they just, like, even a day like today, this is the most guys we've ever had at an option practice before. And it's just kind of the team we have, and some.
Roll with them.
Oh, sound like the audio is getting a little choppy in there. But sounds like you guys got a great group. Love seeing some of that behind the scenes look at getting the hacky sack in, and wish you guys the best on the road trip. Happy birthday to Summer. We can't wait to see you guys when you do get back, and good luck down there. And big one tomorrow night. Big one coming up this weekend. They're all big in the American Association. Chris, thanks one more time for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Great. Thanks, Adam, for having me, and I look forward to it next time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's all we got on RedHawks Weekly. I'm Adam Shalafu. Until next time, we'll see you later.